You ever get that feeling that the wealthiest people are playing a totally different financial game than the rest of us? Well, turns out you're right. They are. And it's a strategy that's 100% legal, but it's something most of us on a regular salary are never taught. So let's pull back the curtain and take a look.
Think about it like this. Imagine you go to work every single day from January through February, March, April, right into May. But every pound you earn, every bit of that effort, it doesn't go to you. It goes straight to the tax man. For anyone earning a paycheck, that feeling is all too real.
Yep. For a lot of high-rate taxpayers in the UK, you're working for 5 whole months just for HMRC. 5 months of your life every single year. It's a staggering amount of time when you stop and think about it. So what if there was a way to play a different game?
Okay, so it all starts with understanding what I call the salaried squeeze. See, if you get your money from a paycheck, the tax system is an absolute masterpiece of efficiency at one thing: taking your money. Income tax, national insurance, it's all sliced off before you even get a chance to touch it. And here's what that looks like in the real world. Let's say you earn £80,000. That puts you in the top 5% of earners in the country. You're doing well. But after the system does its thing, you're actually taking home about £54,000. That means $26,000 of your money just vanishes every year. That's a house deposit in a lot of places. Gone.
And if that wasn't enough, there's a secret tax hike happening that most people don't even see. It's called fiscal drag. Basically, the government freezes the tax thresholds, so when you get a pay rise, even just to keep up with inflation, it can push you into a higher tax bracket. You're paying more tax, but you're not actually any richer. It's a tax rise in disguise.
To really get your head around this, let's follow the money. I mean, literally, let's track the journey of a single pound sterling from the moment you earn it. When you see what it goes through, you really start to understand the big picture.
So that all starts here. You put in the work, you've done the job. £1, freshly earned, but it's not going to stay a pound for long.
Bam! Instantly. Before it even lands in your bank account, the government swoops in. Income tax and national insurance take a huge bite. Your pound is immediately chopped down to about 60p. And that's just the first hurdle.
Right, so you take your 60p and go to spend it. But guess what? The taxman's waiting for you at the till. On most things you buy, there's 20% VAT, so that 60p now has the spending power of just 48p. You are literally being taxed on money that's already been taxed.
And oh, it keeps going. Your whole life. You buy a house, stamp duty. You sell some shares that did well, capital gains tax. And when you eventually pass away, inheritance tax comes for another massive chunk. By the time that £1 has finished its journey, the government could have taken 70, 80, maybe even 90 pence of it.
Okay, so that is the game most of us are stuck playing. But the wealthy? They're playing an entirely different game. And what's wild is that their game is built on 3 incredibly simple rules that just completely bypass that whole salaried squeeze. Let's break them down.
Here they are. Rule number 1, don't take a big salary. I mean, why would you? It's the most heavily taxed type of income there is. Rule 2, shovel your money into assets, things that grow in value. Stocks, property, businesses, you name it. And rule number 3, and this is the absolute key, the secret sauce, you never ever sell those assets.
So how do these 3 rules actually work together? Well, they create this incredibly powerful 3-step system. This is the playbook. It's a strategy known simply as buy, borrow, die.
It works like this. Step 1, you buy assets, things that are going to go up in value. Step 2, and this is the magic part, as those assets grow, you borrow against that growth. And that all leads to step 3. You die. Sounds a bit grim, I know, but it's the final piece of the puzzle to pass on wealth while minimizing the tax hit.
Okay, and this right here, this is the linchpin. This is the one single idea that makes the whole strategy work. Ready? A loan is not income. The tax office doesn't see it as earnings, it's debt, and you don't pay income tax on debt. It's that simple.
Look at this. Let's say you need cash. You've got 2 paths. Path A, you sell your asset. The taxman calls this a taxable event, which is just their fancy way of saying, pay me. You get hit with a big capital gains bill. Path B, you borrow against the exact same asset. You get the cash you need, and your tax bill? It's 0. Nothing. A big fat 0. Which path would you choose?
And this isn't some niche theory. This is happening at the highest levels. When Elon Musk wanted to buy Twitter,
You think he sold his Tesla shares and paid one of the biggest tax bills in human history? Of course not. He just borrowed against his shares. The tax he paid on those billions of dollars in loans? Absolutely nothing.
Here's another perfect one. Adele. She could have easily bought her £50 million house with cash. But to get that cash, she would have had to sell other investments and pay millions in tax. So what did she do instead? She got a mortgage. Why? Because paying a bit of interest on a loan is way cheaper than paying a massive tax bill. It's just simple math.
Now look, you're probably not buying a social media company or a mega mansion anytime soon. But that doesn't matter. The principles here work at any scale. The real lesson isn't just the tactic, it's about a fundamental shift in how you think about money.
So here's how you start rewiring your brain. First, stop focusing on your next paycheck and start thinking about your next asset. Second, you have to separate good debt from bad debt. Bad debt is for buying things that lose value. Good debt is for buying assets that make you richer. Third, your goal isn't just to earn anymore, it's to build. And finally, burn this into your mind. You don't sell your winners if you can borrow against them instead.
And this leaves us with a final, really powerful thought. The tax system isn't broken, it's working exactly as it was designed to. It was built to be incredibly efficient at taxing labor, at taxing salaries. It was not designed to tax wealth in the same way. The rich aren't breaking the rules, they're just playing the game by the rules that were written for them. So the real question is, now that you know the rules, what game are you going to play?